There are moments in life when the weight feels unbearable, when your spirit is exhausted, your prayers feel quiet, and your strength seems gone. You've been fighting battles no one else can see, carrying burdens you never asked for. But here, this clearly God sees you. He knows your struggle, your silent tears, and the strength it took just to keep going. This message is not random, it's divine. If you're feeling tired, worn out, and close to giving up, this is exactly what your soul needs right now. God is speaking directly to you. There are battles you are fighting that no one else truly understands. On the outside, you may look calm, strong, and put together, but inside you are carrying weight that feels overwhelming. You have learned how to smile when you feel like breaking, how to stay silent when your heart is loud with pain, and how to keep moving forward when everything in you wants to stop. People may not see it, they may not recognize it, and they may not even ask about. But God sees every single part of your struggle. He sees the nights when you couldn't sleep because your mind wouldn't rest. He sees the moments when you questioned your worth, your direction, and even your faith. He sees the silent prayers you didn't have the strength to say out loud. Nothing about your pain is hidden from Him. While others may misunderstand you or overlook what you're going through, God's eyes are always on you, not in judgment, but in deep understanding and compassion. Sometimes it feels like you are alone in your situation, like no one is truly walking with you. But the truth is, even in your quietest and most difficult moments, you are not alone. God is present in the unseen spaces of your life. He is there when you're holding back tears, when you're pushing through exhaustion, and when you're trying to make sense of everything that feels uncertain. He knows the effort it takes for you to keep going, even when your strength feels completely drained. Your struggle is not invisible to Him. Every tear, every sigh, every moment of weakness, He has counted it all. He understands the depth of what you're carrying, even when you can't fully explain it to anyone else. And more than just seeing it, He cares deeply about it. He is not distant or unaware. He is close, attentive, and fully aware of the burden on your heart. Even when it feels like nothing is changing and your situation remains the same, God is still involved in your story. He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. What feels like silence is not absence. What feels like delay is not neglect. There is a purpose unfolding even in the middle of your struggle. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are human. And the fact that you have come this far, despite everything you've been facing, says more about your strength than you realize. God sees that strength. He sees your endurance, your patience, and your willingness to keep holding on. He honors the fight within, even when you feel like you have nothing left. So even if no one else understands what you're going through, take comfort in this truth. God does. He sees the parts of your life that remain hidden from the world, and He is not ignoring them. He is walking with you through them, step by step, carrying you in ways you may not even realize yet. And in that same quiet place where you feel the most drained, where your energy is gone, and your heart feels heavy, heaven has not turned away from you. Your exhaustion is not something you have to hide from God. You don't need to pretend to be strong in His presence. He already knows how tired you are, and He is not disappointed in you for feeling this way. There is a deep kind of tiredness that goes beyond the body. It settles into your thoughts, your emotions, your spirit. It's the kind of exhaustion that comes from trying again and again, from hoping and waiting, from giving your all and still not seeing the results you prayed for. It's the weariness of carrying responsibilities, facing challenges, and holding on when everything feels uncertain. And while others might tell you to just be strong or keep pushing, God responds differently. He sees your exhaustion and meets it with understanding, not pressure. You don't have to earn His care by being perfect or by never breaking down. In fact, it is often in your weakest moments that His presence becomes the closest. When your strength runs out, that is not the end of your journey, it is the place where God begins to carry what you no longer can. Your exhaustion is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you have been fighting, enduring, and giving more than most people realize. Heaven is not ignoring your fatigue. Every moment you felt like giving up but didn't, Every time you kept going when you had nothing left, it has all been seen. God recognizes the effort behind your silence, the courage behind your silence, tears, and the faith it takes to keep believing when you feel empty. Nothing about your struggle has gone unnoticed. Sometimes you may think that because you are tired, you are falling behind or losing your way. But God does not measure you by how fast you move or how strong you appear. He looks at your heart. He sees your intention to keep going, even when it feels impossible. And that matters more than anything else. There is also a reason why your exhaustion feels so deep. It's because you've been carrying things that were never meant for you to hold alone. You've been trying to manage everything by yourself, holding in your fears, your worries, your pain. But God never asked you to do life on your own. He invites you to release that weight, to stop carrying what is breaking you, and to trust that He can handle what you cannot. Even now, in your most tired state, you are still being sustained. You are still here. You are still moving forward, even if it feels slow. That is not meekness, that is quiet strength. And God sees that strength in you, even when you don't see it in yourself. So instead of feeling ashamed of your exhaustion, understand that it has meaning. It shows how much you have endured, how deeply you have cared, and how far you have come. And in the middle of all of it, God has been watching, not from a distance, but closely, lovingly, and faithfully. Aware of every step you've taken and every burden you've carried, never once losing sight of you, never once forgetting your struggle. Never once forgetting your struggle. And even in this place where you feel the weakest, where your energy feels gone and your strength feels unreliable, God is still working. Not later, not someday, right now. In the middle of your exhaustion, in the middle of your uncertainty, He is moving in ways you cannot yet see. It's easy to believe that progress only happens when you feel strong, confident, and in control. But God does some of His deepest work in moments when you feel completely emptied. When your own strength fades, it creates space for something greater than you to take over. What feels like weakness to you is not a limitation for God. In fact, it is often the very condition where His power becomes most visible, even if you don't recognize it immediately. You might look at your situation and think nothing is changing. The same challenges are there, the same questions remain unanswered, and the same weight still sits on your shoulders. But just because you can't see movement doesn't mean nothing is happening. God's work is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it is quiet, gradual, and hidden beneath the surface, like roots growing deep before anything appears above the ground. While you are waiting, while you are feeling tired and uncertain, God is aligning things behind the scenes. He is preparing paths you haven't walked yet, shifting circumstances you cannot control, and shaping parts of you that will be necessary for what comes next. Even your current struggle is not being wasted. It is being used to build endurance, to deepen your perspective, and to strengthen something within you that comfort could never produce. There are moments when you may feel like you have nothing left to give, like you've reached the end of your ability to keep going. But even then, God does not require you to carry the outcome. He is not depending on your strength to make things happen. He is able to work through you, around you, and even despite your limitations. Your role is not to have everything figured out. It is simply to remain, to hold on, even if it's with the smallest amount of strength. What feels like stillness in your life may actually be divine activity taking place in ways you cannot measure. Doors are being arranged, delays are being positioned for a reason, and certain things are being held back because the timing is not yet right. God sees the full picture, while you only see a part of it, and because of that, He is able to move in ways that protect you, guide you, and prepare you without you even realizing it. Even your weakness has purpose in this process. It reminds you that you are not meant to do everything alone. It draws you closer to relying on something greater than yourself, and in that reliance, something shifts. You begin to experience a different kind of strength. One that doesn't come from your own effort, but from trusting that God is still in control. So even if today you feel like you're barely holding on, understand this. God is not waiting for you to become stronger before He acts. He is already at work in your life as you are, in your tiredness, in your questions, in your uncertainty. Nothing about your weakness disqualifies you from his plans. If anything, it places you exactly where his power can begin to move in ways that will eventually make sense. Even if right now it feels unclear, slow, and hidden beneath everything you are going through. Hidden beneath everything you are. And even though this season feels heavy, confusing, and never-ending, it is not without purpose. What you are experiencing right now is not random, and it is not meaningless. This tiredness you feel, this emotional and spiritual weight, is part of a process that is shaping something deeper within you. It's difficult to accept that struggle can have purpose, especially when you are in the middle of it. When you're tired, you don't want lessons, you want relief. You want things to make sense, for doors to open, for peace to return. But God often uses seasons like this to do a kind of work that cannot happen in comfort. There are things within you, strength, patience, wisdom, clarity that only develop through pressure and persistence. Right now, you may feel like you're stuck or not moving forward. But what feels like stagnation is often preparation. There are parts of your life that need to be refined, realigned, and strengthened before you step into what's next. And that time kind of preparation doesn't always feel good. It stretches you, it challenges you, and at times it makes you question everything. But it is not wasted time. This season is teaching you things that success alone could never teach. It's teaching you how to endure when things don't go your way. It's teaching you how to hold on when answers are delayed. It's teaching you how to separate what truly matters from what doesn't. Even your tiredness is revealing something. It's showing you where you've been overextending, where you've been carrying too much, and where you need to shift your focus. There is also a deeper transformation happening within you. The person you are becoming through this process is not the same as the person you were before it started. Your perspective is changing. Your understanding is growing. Even your faith, though it may feel tested, is being strengthened in a more real and grounded way. This is not about surface-level growth. This is about something internal, something lasting. You may not see the full picture right now, and that can be frustrating. You may question why things are taking so long or why certain struggles had to happen in the first place. But purpose is not always visible in the moment. Sometimes it only becomes clear when you've come through the other side. And when you look back, you begin to realize that every difficult moment played a role in shaping where you are. This season is not here to break you, even if it feels like it sometimes. It is here to build you in ways you don't yet understand. It is aligning you with something greater, even if the path feels unclear. And while you may feel tired of the process itself is carrying meaning. So instead of seeing your exhaustion as something negative or pointless, try to recognize that it is part of a larger journey. You are being shaped, prepared, and strengthened, even when it feels slow and overwhelming. There is purpose in this season, even in the parts that are the hardest to endure, even in the moments when you feel like you have nothing left to give, even in the quiet struggle that no one else can see but God continues to watch over with understanding and intention. With understanding and intention. And in the middle of all this, there is something important you need to realize. Rest is not weakness, and it is not failure. It is part of how God designed you to live, to recover, and to continue. You were never meant to keep pushing endlessly without pause, carrying every burden without release. The tiredness you feel is not just a sign of what you've been through. It is also a signal that something within you needs restoration. For a long time, you may have believed that stopping means falling behind, that resting means you're not doing enough, or that taking a break somehow makes you less strong. But that mindset slowly drains you. It keeps you in a cycle of constant pressure where you feel like you always have to prove something. God does not ask that of you. He does not measure your worth by how much you can endure without stopping. He understands your limits because He created you with them. Rest is not about giving up. It's about being renewed. It's about allowing your mind, your heart, and your spirit to breathe again after carrying so much for so long. When you rest, you are not abandoning your responsibilities, you are restoring your ability to handle them in a healthier, stronger way. Without rest, even the strongest person will eventually feel empty. But with rest, there is a chance to rebuild what has been worn down. Sometimes rest doesn't mean everything around you suddenly becomes easy. It doesn't mean all your problems disappear at once. Instead, it means you begin to release the pressure of trying to control everything. It means you stop forcing outcomes and start allowing space for things to unfold. It's a shift from constant striving to quiet trust. And that kind of rest goes deeper than just physical sleep. It reaches into your thoughts and your emotions. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to step back from what is overwhelming you. You are allowed to admit that you are tired without feeling guilty about it. God is not expecting you to carry everything perfectly. He invites you to lay down what is too heavy and to trust that He can handle what you cannot. That doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop exhausting yourself trying to manage everything alone. In this place of rest, something begins to change. Your perspective becomes clearer. Your thoughts become less chaotic. The heaviness you've been carrying starts to lift, even if only a little at first. And slowly, strength begins to return, not forced, not rushed, but steady and real. This is how restoration works. It doesn't always happen instantly, but it happens when you allow yourself to receive it. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to wait until everything is perfect to finally breathe. Even now, in the dealing with, you can choose to slow down, to release some of the weight, and to trust that things don't depend entirely on you. God is still in control, even when you step back. So don't see your need for rest as a failure. See it as a necessary part of your journey. It is how you are renewed, how you are strengthened, and how you are prepared for what comes next. And even as you rest, nothing is being lost. God is still working, still guiding, and still holding everything together, giving you the space to recover while He continues to move in your life in ways you may not yet fully understand, but will one day recognize with clarity.